Good morning. The case which I am going to share with you will help you to understand how sale deed being registered, placed for registration, and it was kept pending for payment of insufficient stamp duty, and what will happen thereafter. Very fantastic case. I will just refer the case. AR 2024 Supreme Court 3766. AR 2024 Supreme Court 3766. Kaushik Prem Kumar Misra and another versus Rani Kavera. Say this case, before going to the ratio, it is far better that I will take you the issues framed, how the court has decided the issues by lower court first, then appellate court, then that appellate court judgment is attested by the High Court, and finally Supreme Court had deeply discussed the enormous ratios and doctrines. So actually what had happened, the person seems to purchase the property in the year 1985, but it could not be, it was, the registration was kept pending for insufficient stamp. Thereafter, he paid that insufficient stamp and got registered on 14th June 2011, when initial sale deed was executed 2/12/1985. Thereafter, what had happened? The person who sold the first defendant seems to have sold the property to second defendant again. Therefore, that resulted the suit, and the Supreme Court Judge Vikram Nath initially has stated that this way, you keep this and memorize this way. Law is the king of kings. Law is the king of kings. Nothing is mightier than law. By whose aid, even the weak may prevail over the strong. This is what they said in the paragraph, and also said how the vendors are very greedy to gain double. So before that, these are the issues which you have to concentrate if you are preparing for examination, or even as a common man who you may likely to purchase the property for yourself or your minor children. Number one, the possession of the plaintiff. Number two, by execution of registered sale deed on 2/12/1985, whether they are owner or not. Number three, whether the defendants are attempting to take possession unauthorizedly. Then the deed of conveyance dated 3/12/2010, subsequent deed, whether is void ab initio or not. Then permanent injunction, any other relief. Then defendant 1, whether proved that alleged agreement to sale dated 12/1985 is void ab initio, whether suit is barred by limitation. These all are the issues framed. Then finally, defendant 2, whether he is a bona fide purchaser and possessor of the suit land. For all this, the Supreme Court has given number one finding that since the stamp duty was subsequently paid, the sale deed is valid. Therefore, the held that plaintiff need not prove the execution of sale deed since he is having valid sale deed. Then they say until and unless the correctness of the document, registration of documents was challenged, the document is valid document. That was the finding of the Supreme Court. Then the sale deed was executed in favor of minor brother and also another minor whose age was shown as 18 years. However, only on that ground that the sale deed may not be treated as invalid. Therefore, minority of plaintiff would not affect the validity of the sale deed. Then they say registering authority uh, till the deficiencies are removed, he is an authority that sale deed is with him and sale deed is valid. Then finally, they say the subsequent purchaser is not a bona fide purchaser. Therefore, the protection afforded by the bona fide purchaser doctrine is nullified by vendors' deceitful conduct and pre-existing transfer of rights. This is what all these provisions are being dealt under section 31, 34, 38 of the specific relief act. Therefore, go through the entirety of judgment. This will definitely help you if you come across such a cases, or at least as your ordinary layman, somebody has informed you about all these things. Best wishes.